Charles from GMAT Ninja Tutoring here. If you're new to the GMAT, you might be wondering, should you pay for a course? Should you go hire a tutor? Should you do some self-study and then pay for a course or hire a tutor? So today, my goal is to talk about ways that you can help decide what's going to be best for you, a course or a tutor. Now, I'm not going to recommend specific test prep companies, not even my own. I just want to focus on that decision. What's going to be better for you, course or tutor? Now, I'm going to get the obvious stuff out of the way first. Obviously, one-on-one attention from a tutor is going to help you make progress faster, all else being equal. And obviously, there's budget constraints. Tutors are generally more expensive than courses. And unless you're Bill Gates, that's going to be a huge factor here. All of that's obvious. But what I want to accomplish here is to help you think about that decision so that you don't waste any of your time or money. Some people are going to be great in a course and shouldn't waste the money on a tutor. Other people are probably going to struggle in a course. It's better if you know that sooner or later so that you don't waste any resources on that. And maybe you consider jumping straight to a tutor if you have a certain set of difficulties. First, let's talk about 5 characteristics of students who are likely to thrive in a GMAT course. So you might be really happy in a GMAT course if, for example, you're just building your quant foundations. If you just need a refresher on arithmetic and algebra, a course can be perfect for that. Second characteristic, if you're unfamiliar with the GMAT and you just need some exposure to the exam in general, you don't need to spend big money on a tutor. A course should be just fine for you. Characteristic number 3, if your improvement goals are pretty modest, and let's say you're trying to go from a 550 to a 600 or a 610 to a 650, you probably don't need to spend a bunch of money on a tutor there either. A course can be fine. Now, don't get me wrong. It is very possible to have much bigger improvements from a course. But if your improvement goals are fairly modest, a course is almost certainly fine for you, at least as a starting point. Characteristic number 4, if you know that you're really good in general and standardized tests, even if you've never seen the GMAT before, odds are much better that you're going to thrive in a course, get everything you need, be able to assimilate it, put it into practice, and get a great score. And finally, if you're self-motivated, a course might be great for you. Most of the least expensive courses out there, there's no live instructor yelling at you. And if you don't need that anyway, if you're great at getting your homework done, being disciplined, being self-motivated, you really don't need a tutor to hold your hand. Next, let's talk about the 5 characteristics of students who might want to consider jumping straight to a tutor. First of all, if you're low on time, you might want to consider a tutor. Obviously, a tutor giving you one-on-one attention is going to be more able to tailor all the instruction to your unique GMAT brain. All else being equal, you're going to make progress quite a bit faster. Characteristic number 2, maybe you need somebody to hold you accountable. So now look, all of us work out harder, study harder. If there's somebody there yelling at us, holding us accountable, making sure that we've got to answer to somebody and show them our homework results, if that's really strongly the case for you, a tutor might be worth the investment. Characteristic number 3, if you're hitting a score plateau, one of those really, really tough things that happens to so many of us studying for the GMAT, it might be really helpful to have a tutor, that one-on-one attention to help you get unstuck. Thing number 4, if you struggle with consistency, odds are pretty good that there's something in your process that's inconsistent. Might be something psychological, might be anxiety, might be something that's really subtle in your approach. All else being equal, generally it's much easier for a tutor with that one-on-one attention to diagnose that than it is for a course. And finally, you might want a tutor if you have no idea why your scores are low. Once you get into that world of trying to diagnose what's going on and you can't figure it out, again, that one-on-one attention might be worth the price for you. All right. Once again, as always, if you've enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. It helps other students find the video. One last thought before we wrap up. Now, don't let anybody tell you that you have to pay a ton of money to do great on the GMAT. That simply isn't the case. There's piles and piles and piles of free resources out there. This GMAT Club YouTube channel, more than 1,300 videos, often done by experts. Some of them are fantastic. Study plans are out there, expert explanations for every question. Don't let anybody tell you have to spend money. Some of you are going to benefit really, really well from a smart investment in a course or a tutor. But for the rest of you, it might be totally fine to keep going it alone. But if you do need to buy something, just keep all these tips in mind, help you make that right decision so that you're not going around doing multiple courses, multiple tutors. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.